Hello everybody and welcome back to eUnited versus Furia. It has been a weird set of events that we saw occur towards the start of this series, but now we're here on Furia's map pick, and hopefully they've taken the time we've had in the break to recover their medal position and put themselves in a better spot to carry forward on the victory. My name is Mitch, and with me, making sense of all this madness, is going to be Dean.
Yeah, I'm hoping we're going to see a much closer game here now coming onto this second map. Furia on their own map choice. Hopefully they'll be able to go ahead and put up a much better performance, as we do see them looking to try and take it on over towards this A-bomb site early on. Currently, Food is actually the only player to kind of actually spot this. They are, of course, playing for the retake right now. They have a couple of smokes, a couple of flashes. They have the kit as well to work with. And as Furia go for a bit of an execute, they should be finding quite an easy bomb plant, and they even managed to go ahead and take a frag through the smoke alongside of it. So a man advantage being found now going into this after plant for Furia.
Okay, this is much better to work with. Aggression from Abel J works out as he picks up one before falling. Moose returning a frag onto Vinny there, but Art's starting to get aggressive alongside Caserato. They're finding themselves all the kills that they need. A 3k from Caserato gives over the first round to Furia, but we've seen them win the pistol and then get absolutely destroyed in the preceding rounds. Hopefully that won't be the same. As we move on to Vertigo, this is their map pick, one where they looked pretty decent up against Team 1. They made a recovery of a 16-8 scoreline despite losing the map beforehand up against T0. And so, I think we've seen Furia kind of recover, like I said, throughout today, from map to map. This is where they should be doing it, but that's not a good look for them to start it off. Cooper takes down Vinny, a lone attacker, giving a Galil over to the defensive side, who've got armor and a force buy up here, which makes it very scary. Luckily eliminating one of those deagles as they push towards the A site. Food swinging around that smoke has been spotted as well, so nothing further to be connected for him, and a bomb plant should be obtained. They've just dropped the bomb in the open. Someone's got to go get it.
Oh, Marky on the flank actually able to catch Abel off guard as well. Fortunately, they will be able to go ahead and take Cooper down in return, and the AK of Caserato putting a stop to Marky before he can get anything else done on that flank. So it is going to be all onto Moose now. He's looking to try and flank in as well and ends up getting spammed. Nice work by Art. Okay, that's one way to do it. 3k from Art in this round. We had a 3k from Caserato in the previous. This is looking to be a much better start here from Furia. And of course, they are on the T side of Vertigo to kick things off, which is ideal considering it is, from what we've seen, a pretty T-sided map so far. But this one going to have to be an eco, of course, now from eUnited. Just some upgraded pistols allowed. 3 Deagles. Cooper and Moose don't spend anything at all. They want to keep some money. Cooper wants the op in the next round, as Vanity goes down already. So a quick start into this round here right now, rather, from Furia. And it looks like they might be setting up for a split over towards that A-bomb site. They don't have the bomb currently in their possession, though, so I don't know if they were initially planning this, but they've managed to do it. Art has made his way all the way in from behind now. Cooper already low. And one more player that he spotted out up behind that metal pole was trying to conceal himself, of course, from the ramp.
So, it may seem like we're being a little bit generous towards Furia. I mean, they won the pistol, followed through in the second, and then an eco. But the thing is, it's so important that they build up momentum early on. With this being a T-sided map as well, and their map pick, we need to see them dominate to get themselves back in the right mindset. We saw massive issues, not just in terms of how eUnited were playing and beating them on an individual level, but the communication breakdown was so evident towards the end of the previous map. I mean, the last 5 or 6 rounds, it looked like they were just done with life. Nice nade. It's not going to bounce down enough, though, to take Caserato out. By the way, I saw someone say I'm pronouncing Caserato's name weird. I was told it was Caserato, so I'm going to stick with it. I trust Brazilians. And now I'm going to be told by 100 more Brazilians that it's wrong. But
don't comment on it. That's when they all start talking about it.
I'm trying my
5
best.
on 4. It's a decent advantage being found. A lot of course, players being tagged up on the T side already, but Caserato able to just walk in through that smoke with a flash, takes down Food, follows it up onto Vanity, and gets quite a lot of control as well for Furia to work with here. It's going to allow for that bomb plant to come down easily, because Cooper's the only one who could really feasibly put a stop to it, but he can't from that position right now. So it's a bit awkward. Yuri through the smoke drops Moose, and at this point, I don't think eUnited really want to go for this.
Caserato just hammers it home there with that double. Walking through the smoke, the timing was perfect on the aggression. Had an exact read on how his opponents were playing. This time, though, gets lit up by the AWP. Wall banged to death. And so it is going to be a 3v2 save from eUnited. Even with that kill, they do not feel like going for it with very heavily time limited. They have no utility. Maybe if they'd have smoked, they could have pushed down and tried to drop a smoke in and get a ninja defuse. Vinny's hunting down. Never mind, Vinny's dead. I was going to say you could get some bonus money with that Mach 10, but it ain't happening, and Abel J doesn't make it far enough away from the bomb. So he gets eliminated. He was on a sliver of health. And unfortunately, that's how we concluded. 4-0, eUnited. Not looking too bad for economy in this round, but if they lose here, then Furia get off to a stellar start up 6-0. And their economy's starting to get fairly decent on the T side. If they win this and face off against an eco, then it's going to be pretty hard to take Furia out of the running.
Yeah, Cooper did actually open up in this round, but unfortunately Marky tried to get aggressive and allowed for Art to go ahead and neutralize that advantage that had been found early on. So of course now the 4-on-4 does tend to favor the T side. Furia again in a decent position here, as they look to try and just immediately bring it on over towards A once again. I mean, this is going to be in the standard, and just is the standard in general. Just get those smokes down. You pretty much confirm the bomb plant at least like 70% of the time to just try and play down the after plant. And of course it's quite difficult to get that retake in when it is when you have to kind of push down towards that ramp to actually stop the players. But let's see now. Looking to go forward, Molotov being thrown in, flashes over as well, allowing for Caserato to take the lead in the charge. Abel actually does a good bit of damage there while just spamming blindly into the smoke.
Vanity's able to take Caserato down and leave it over into a 4v3. Art on 50 HP with the AWP is in danger as he's been flanked out. Moose picks up a second as well. Yuri's body flies straight off the map, and Abel J is not far behind him as he gets eliminated. eUnited on the retake survive with 4 players left alive, rather. Low HP on Vanity and Moose, but Moose was very fortunate to be coming up behind. So he caught the first kill for free without taking a point of damage. And as his opponent turned around to try and face him, off the map he went. 4-1. A double op setup being deployed by eUnited is strange to see. Definitely one of the first times I've seen it on Vertigo. It's very infrequent to see an op bot up on the T side. The CT one is definitely common to hold down towards the A bomb side. It can be very efficient on the longer range angles if you hold, I think, around where we're currently seeing. Oh, it's not even food. He's going aggressive. I thought it was food, but yeah, he's pushed up very aggressive. That's a very good angle to use the op on early on, and then later he can play it once I like how he waits for the flashbang, doesn't even just bail back. Now he's playing the position I expected of him, which is much more passive. It gives you a lot of security. It's a very long range fight to take, and you're watching one of the only angles they can peek on. Furia trying to take advantage of the missing panel towards wood, peeking down towards elevators, but they're not finding a kill on the back of it, and in a 3v5, really, they need to look for some frags before they push forward. Using their smokes, there we go, isolating one and taking down Moose.
Yeah, Moose didn't really need to get that aggressive right there. It does seem like eUnited are kind of just set up for the retake. I guess if it worked out, they would have been left in a 5-on-2, and the bomb plant wouldn't have really been able to have gone down for an extra couple of seconds, but it's just a bit risky. Gives a bit of an opportunity now for Furia to try and fight back into this, as we do see Abel pushing forward. Cooper, I believe, did spot him, but he tries to reface and gets his head taken off by that Krieg. The bomb now finally being planted, as we have seen Furia equalize into a 3-on-3.
With the bomb planted, oh, I thought maybe they were going to go for a save, but no, Marky actually rotates around. Nice shot by Yuri, very sweet flick, and he knew Vanity was coming through that angle as well. 5-1. Furia pick up another. And the bomb plant under their belt as well. They got plenty of cash to work with. Now, one thing to mention, and we talked about this towards the start of the series, eUnited coming into this, I've only played Vertigo once. It was against NRG, who were kind of experimenting with their map pool at the time, and they managed to beat NRG 16-12. Still a close game, considering the fact that Furia have shown a lot of dominance on this map. I think now 6 out of 7 wins, and the only time they lost was up against Gamer Legion, 16-12, kind of recently as well, at Mocka XL. Gamer Legion are a team that have been big fans of this map since it came out, so they're definitely a proficient Vertigo team, and one that it's not too bad to lose to. Oh, Food's getting aggressive here. Great flashbang! Catches one player, but Vinny avoided that flash. I'm not even sure how he wasn't blinded by that. I didn't see him turn away, so it must have just about... The flash must have been just about a little bit too shallow, I presume.
Yeah, seems like it was. Still a minute and 10 seconds remaining here, but as we can see, all of Furia are just grouped up over towards A, so commitment gonna have to come through soon, because they don't know if there's a potential flank that could be coming in from behind. Molotov ready to be tossed over. Vanity is up close and looking tempted to peek. That's wild indeed. Ends up going down to Abel, of course, and allows again for Furia to go ahead and equalize into a 3-on-3. The bomb yet to go down will finally be getting planted now, safely behind that blue box. Moves up close, and then the spam from Marky looking to see if they could find anything, but not successful as of yet. Moose, though, almost had the opportunity. I was going to say should be able to spot that player on ramp. Ends up actually taking down Abel J as the smoke fades away. And now it's a 3-on-2. They do have a kit in play. That smoke, though, unfortunately not going to be landing as intended. It allows for Yuri to go ahead and actually take down Marky as he taps the bomb. The wall bang as well to follow it up. Drops a little bit of damage towards Cooper. But oh, there we go. Moose actually just lines them up.
I'm so unlucky. He spotted Yuri just about the back of his arm peeking out. And so Moose was able to tap down immediately through the wall. Didn't matter that he didn't hit him dead on because he was so low. And then the second player walks out into his crosshair as he's spraying. So he just keeps on spraying and takes the kill. Lining up accidentally. But nonetheless, another round of the board for eUnited. And that was a 4K for Moose as well. And we've seen Marky be a little bit quieter here. He did attempt to flank up against Furia.
You can't expect 22 and 1 again.
No, I think it's fair to say you can't expect that performance for quite a while. It's from anybody. Look,
it's still early days, though. We could definitely still step it up overall here on Vertigo. Moose stepping up early on 8-5. That's good to see from him. Cooper as well. Everyone's looking okay at least.
In this kind of close matchup as well, that was the most amazing thing. Like 22 for 1 happens if you're playing like a tier 3 team and you're dominating, coming in as massive favorites. It can happen, no problem. But the fact that you saw him do that against Furia, and not only Furia, but this is the best eUnited have looked in a matchup against Furia in my memory. And yet, Furia are arguably massively on form at the moment. They're a much better team than they have been the last couple times eUnited played them. And yet eUnited putting up a huge fight. Again, 5 for 2, it's not amazing. They did lose the pistol, but receiving an opening death here, it's not going to do a whole lot for them.
Definitely doesn't make things easier. And that's what they would be looking for right now. Artis actually just creeped all the way into mid. I don't think they have any idea. They will definitely know. But the issue is Cooper has to give up pretty much all of his health to actually go ahead and get that info. Moose shuts down the flank at the very least there by Abel, who is trying to come up through mid. So it is going to be a 4-on-4 now. The bomb, though, should be planted over on this A-bomb site. And if they don't find a kill very quickly here for eUnited to actually initiate this retake, I think a save is going to certainly have to be something they consider. Smoke already going down as well to keep them at bay.
Those smokes down pretty much end the round for me. That's where eUnited should be saying, let's just get out of here. Cooper can't do a whole lot in the long range angles, and he's 5 HP. So as he tries to get a little bit frisky up close, that's where he's in a lot of danger. Now that he's finally able to do something, time's already ticked down really low. They lose food going forward. Marky follows through in a frag, but it's trades early on with Cooper still very squishy, very easily taken down, or not as he takes down Yuri. This was a risky push to come through. Serrato knows the defuse is coming in, and with Cooper being so low, the spray was easily connected. That's why you didn't want to see it. So time limited, they had to stick it with Cooper being 5 HP. Maybe if he's a little higher, he wins the duel, but even still, with the bomb planter being eliminated, there was no chance at securing the defuse, or the bomb diffuser being eliminated. And so 6-2. It's Furia walking away with the round. They take a lot of losses. Their economy's managed down super low, but eUnited don't exactly have the weaponry to contest. They've only got a 4 Deagles and a CZ with armor on Moose to work with. And obviously, once these guys, as you see there, Cooper just gets tapped in the leg and he can't see anything. He's looking at the sky straight away with the gun kick.
Yeah, already a 5-on-2. I mean, the round having just barely begun. A good position from Fu. They have no idea. It does allow for 1. But of course, Caserato was up close and ready to go ahead and trade it. So not really going to give them too much, unfortunately. Moose is the last man standing. Abel coming in from mid. Should spot him in just a couple of moments. And the frag is likely to come in. Indeed it will. Got a little bit shaky, dropped to 19 HP, but doesn't matter, ends up taking it in the end. 7-2 now is the scoreline. Furia off to a great start here on Overpass. Much better than we've seen back on map number 1, on Vertigo rather. Much better than we've seen back on Overpass was what I meant to say. But here we go, eUnited back on the body, up available for Cooper. They have a decent amount of utility. Can they finally start picking up a little bit more here on the CT side? And the issue is they're going to have to do so consistently. I mean, if they take 1, then we would see at least a couple players on Furia being on an eco, but I think some of them would still be able to buy.
This is what we've seen for... Oh, very nice shot by Cooper, taking down Caserato. He's on 18 HP. Spam's going down. Vanity's got a nade. Does that land? No. Never mind. Just getting a little bit worried. He's still down to 30 in the process as well. So despite the fact that Furia haven't found a kill, they've done quite a lot of damage. As they come into duels later on, that'll certainly stand to them. So... yeah, this is what we were talking about towards the end of the previous map, that Furia, we've seen them come into, like, dominate one map, be weak in the second, and then dominate the third. And very much a switch of performances on maps that aren't terrible for them. So they've been a little bit inconsistent today. And that previous map, beyond inconsistent. But now they've reset themselves mentally. They do come into this with 2 opening losses, and even the fact that Cooper, Vanity, and Food are low, the time is super low, and there's still 2 players towards B, both of which are pretty heavily stacked up on HP. Vanity's on the rotating already, but checking up close. Moose is going to fall. Yuri picks up more, and then that's the round pretty much over. I mean, Cooper and Food both so low, and AWP in play, and all the positions to go for Fury alongside the bomb plant.
Yeah, so low. It's just not really worthwhile going for it all right now. Saving these weapons over, using that loss bonus, then be able to drop a couple of rifles as well. It's definitely the option that they had to an option rather that they had to consider, and realizing that will give them a buy in this upcoming round. It is what they do decide on in the end. Problem is, Furia, they've already gone ahead and got themselves a lead now at the half time. At the very least, they're up 8-2 right now. Oh, poor Cone.
Oh,
poor
no.
Cones. Oh no.
He's a monster.
How is anyone going to know to be cautious around those ledges now?
That's the plan. United will never know, and they'll walk off the edge in the next round.
Yeah, as they're leaving spawn.
How was I to know, guys? There's no cone. But the cones respawn.
Be soon. They'll be soon.
Yeah, you get a decent lawsuit if you fall off like a 100-story building because there was no cone. Ooh, you're making bank.
I mean, you'd want to just be looking where you're going if you're at the top of a 100-story building. But yeah. Let's see though. 8-2, eUnited. Can they finally get something done? As I said, saving those 2 weapons over gives them a decent buy, but it's still not perfect. They even have a FAMAS limited, FAMAS being limited into the hands of Vanity rather. So yeah, it's awkward. This time though, we do see Furia try and switch things up a little bit, pressuring towards B early on rather than the A bomb site, which has been working very, very well for them.
Great auto director. Here we go. We're back over towards the B bomb site. Marky holding down up close, catches the angle, takes Art down. They were unaware of it as Cooper picks up another. This is not looking all too good. Food on the rotate through middle. He's got support on Moose as well. He's got an angle above that smoke. The spray down's there for 2. And Caserato's last alive. They're shooting each other through the smoke. But Caserato eventually is going to fall to Food as well. Picks up the final 3 kills and shuts Furia out of the round completely. United on the road to the comeback now as they found a 3rd. It's not terrible. If they can get 5 on the board, I'm feeling okay. And considering how things started off, I think 5 is an okay scoreline. 6 where they'll be happy, but 5, you got a chance. You win the pistol, you're on the T side, get off to a bit of a roll. And we've already seen that Furia are a little bit vulnerable today, mentality-wise. I mean, if you start to get off to a decent roll, Cooper gets cut down the open. I'm surprised he's not aware of the fact that they can be there so early. I mean, T's have a pretty good spawn for ramp, and the only way you really get there early to contest them is if you peek towards the wood, the removed wooden panel on the left. But like we said earlier, even at that, it's a very vertical fight, very wide-angle vertical fight, and a difficult one to take in general. Although we've seen Vinny do it before. He was a big fan of taking peeks around where he is right now on the CT side.
Ooh, Vanity looking like he was tempting it. He was considering pushing through that smoke, decided against it in the end. That jump up though for Moose does end up costing him his life, and with that now it gets a little bit more difficult for United on the retake. Yuri just keeps fragging, eventually hits Caserato to take one. But Vanity now is the last man standing, finds one headshot, but he's been dropped to 70 in health already. There's not really much that he's going to be able to get done, and you can see already actually a quick flank has been sent around. I believe that's Abel J who's taken the long route from the B bomb site to see if he can deny this weapon from being carried over. He should be able to do so pretty easily. Spot the gun barrel, I believe, and there you have it. 1 bullet, all that was needed. 9-3 going to be the scores. It just continues to increase in favor of Furia right now. Of course, if we do end up seeing them take the victory here on Vertigo, it will mean rather that we head on to Inferno as the decider, which is always an exciting map to see. to end out a series, especially in a grand finals here for the qualifier, to see who qualifies. Of course, the ESL in New York.
There's an opening for Cooper. Being pretty versatile, using that AWP early on to get aggressive picks throughout the map. Marky's nade could be good, actually. Barely any damage. Just 3 on Divini. And Furia at this point, they're very spread out. They're looking for aggression. They get some, but it's flashed in, so they're not able to do a whole lot about it. eUnited not gaining too much info either, though. They saw a player jumping around. They know someone was aggressive on a ramp, but with the fact that they get there so early, you can pretty much guarantee there's going to be a player aggressive on a ramp every round. Unless it's a straight B rush. Yuri falls, though, and that's really not good. Furia needed to be playing the trades with a one-man disadvantage in play, turning now into 2. And with mid-control attempted by AbleJ all alone, completely dry with no utility being used up as there's barely any left for the T-side. Only that one flash we just saw Vinny pop. Now they're in a really disadvantageous situation. Pushing towards the bomb site, nothing to use up to take away the vision of the counter-terrorist side. And Vanity's even able to push up behind them around the boxes, around the pillars rather, on the B bomb site. That was a slow round from Furia, and not one that worked out very well. As spreading out for picks is fine, but they had the kind of wingman setup 2 and 2 across the map, but then they start to rotate over, leaving one outside A, playing kind of aggressive. Yuri gets picked, and from that point, as long as eUnited stick together and play trades, you've no access back into the round.
Yeah, if eUnited can win out this one, then we will see Furia going into the final round of the half with an extremely weak investment. So that would actually give eUnited a great opportunity to try and take 6 at the half time, which of course would be a pretty great recovery considering they were down 9-2 at one point. But let's see. Furia again looking to try and favor over towards this B bomb site. It's going to be Vanity who takes the first contact. The Krieg does work out successfully. Rips off the head of Art. I don't know if he's just lagging on my screen. Is that me lagging? My internet's been having some trouble tonight so far.
I didn't actually spot it.
Well, it just... things were jumping all over the place for me on the GoTV. So I was a little bit confused by what was going on. Good catch by Yuri, though, to trade one back as he catches Cooper peeking into mid. A smoke goes down, but not before Food can get a few bullets off to find a frag and even some other damage, or some extra damage, rather, on towards AbleJ.
Now Vinny goes down, so too does AbleJ. This is not good. Caserato falls to Moose as well. Moose been having a really good game. I want to open the scoreboard for a second. 12 for 9. I mean, he certainly had a lot of impact in some of the rounds they've been winning recently. I feel like his performance is definitely amped up. Marky and Vanity, 2 players we commented on earlier on in this this tournament in general, this qualifier. They had a phenomenal opening to it, a good start to the day, but things have eased off coming onto Vertigo. And a map where eUnited are not tremendously comfortable. Obviously, they've only played it once. I think this is a good scoreline for them. If they can find that 6th, as they're likely to do now up against this weaker buy from Furia. Nice nade. Not nice nade. Vinny gets protected. And Sandbags, I think, only takes 5 damage. Yeah, if they can find 6 here, I think that's a phenomenal scoreline for them. The problem is Fury've got a lot of smokes to play with, and as they push towards the A site, closing in the distance with those pistols will become a lot easier with this utility. Oh no, it's a dual Beretta! Surely not!
He wanted that and he found it. He wasn't going to let it escape him. Yuri knows the last man standing. This is going to be 6 at the halftime for eUnited, which is a great recovery considering Vertigo. It seems to be a fairly T-sided map, to say the least. 9-6. I'd say that's a half normally both teams could be pretty happy with, but considering eUnited were down so massively, they're going to be the ones that are maybe rocking a little bit of extra confidence to kick off the second half.
And that's
Dorito.
what we were talking about, right? If eUnited get themselves pumped up and start to dominate, they win the pistol, they win the first buy round, I'm curious as to how that's going to affect Furia's mentality. I mean, if you see them in a position where they're starting to feel shut out early on their CT side, on their map pick after the scoreline in the previous, with the communication breakdown we saw there, how's it going to develop as you're potentially out of the series, and so close as well, so close to the end? I think eUnited have got the mental advantage at the moment.
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, I'd say it's still going to be a close one. If we do see Furia picking up the pistol round going into the second half, then I think they could be in a pretty good position where they're like, okay, guys, we got this. We're leading 10-6. We have double digits already. 6 more rounds to go. We can do it. But if the pistol goes in favor of eUnited, judging by just how T-sided Vertigo can be, I definitely feel like we could see a little bit of trouble for Furia. But of course, we are going to be waiting now before we hop on into that second half. The players maybe taking a quick bathroom break, maybe they need a sip of water, who knows, speculation. But it does seem like they need a couple of minutes at the very least. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one now heading into the second half. I was almost convinced rather at one point that we were going to be heading to a map number 3 when we had Furia up 9-2. But United again just step it up out of nowhere.
Yeah, they definitely make it a hot topic. With the fact that Furia, they're taking a little bit of a pause there in between. I wouldn't necessarily say it's down to bathroom breaks or anything like that. I think they know they've got to have a serious approach to this round, because this pistol is so important. If they lose this, eUnited have massive access back into the game, considering it's the T side. I mean, you saw the strong start Furia got off to. Like you said, 9-2. If eUnited pull something like that off, well, then you're in a lot of hot water on the CT side. 2 players taking utility here. AbleJ's got a CZ to play with. And Art down on the kit. It's something we've seen a lot. Oh, I love this position. With Vinny just sitting down behind the sandbags. Something we saw Neo do, actually. He should be completely catching them by surprise. As they've already killed a player here, there's no way they suspect a second. Oh, they do suspect a second! Vanity comes up! I mean, there's already 2 players up there with their backs turned. But Vanity just decides, I think there's someone there, guys. Food goes down, AbleJ's got no armor. So this should be an easy fight to win, not if you go 1 by 1 and give him the chance.
This is getting dangerous. Decides to swap weapon. Goes actually for the Glock. Bullets in it, and he does actually manage to catch AbleJ, who was trying to get a little bit frisky himself there. Wanted to push up. Getting as close as he could with that CZ, I think, was really his plan, but unfortunately it didn't work in his favor. A lot closer than it should have been, though, making it a winnable situation in general there was quite surprising. But United, they do end up taking that pistol round to kick off the second half. Furia, it doesn't seem like they're going to be buying into this one either, so they are willing to take the eco and just come onto the gun round in the following one. We see a P250 and I believe also a flash that has already been thrown out. 4 players actually looking to try and push down on B, and I believe Marky has a little bit of an idea about that, so he's just going to retrieve the bomb and back off.
He heard the steps, he saw the players. They're actually starting to move around towards the back of B, looking for the guys that jump down, maybe going in aggressively to try and flank them. And eUnited try to flank the flankers, catch them off guard. Fury are going to be playing this round sporadically, and you're going to see positions just held randomly to try and catch these T's off guard. Evidently not working. Food taking down Art after spotting off his head, and he takes it clean off. Bomb plants on the B side is guaranteed, and Furia should fall behind. Really, the question is, can they find a kill and save a weapon? And that's what they want to be doing here, and avoiding dying to the SMGs, which so far they've been successful in doing. It's not going to be successful for all too much longer, though, as Moose comes through with a quick double. I think an attempted knife came in. Caserado has been hungry for those today, but his teammate going for it instead. I still can't believe... I mean, Overpass, when Caserado found the knife down towards Monster, that was a big shock, and I thought that would have hit the mentality of eUnited, but I guess the fact that for, like, the next 3 buy rounds, Furia got nothing done was enough to recover your mentality after being knifed.
Coming onto the buy though, Furia. Let's see if they can go ahead and pick up this opening gun round here on the second half. I do want to say it's pretty much a necessity at this point. If they end up losing this one, eUnited will be building up some good money. They'll be taking themselves a lead most likely. So we do even see Caserado actually being put down onto an MP9, as he does look to pull out that bit of extra utility, most of which has already been used in towards middle. So it's be a tough one from this point forward. eUnited getting some good map control over towards B. The spam actually coming through onto Able, takes him down, and then Marky with one of his own drops Art. I mean, Art has been a player who's gone down first in so many of these rounds in the past 2 maps, but this time we can't really fault him for it. Just spammed straight through the smoke.
He's had very little access towards opening duels, at least successfully. I commented on the previous map that was what Art was so important at, really, for Furia. He consistently found those opening duels. He was positive in this whole tournament. I think every single map he's been positive in opening duels. Except for the previous, obviously, where they
Definitely
were just
wasn't in the previous, yeah.
Yeah, it's fair. I think it's a safe assumption. I don't have the exact stats on hand for the previous map, but I'm pretty sure no one was positive for opening duels on Furia. eUnited's lit down so low here. He has nothing to say about this push, but his teammates do. They rotate in very quickly. Caserato finding an advanced position, picks up one more frag. Yuri in there with another, but he'll be lit down right afterwards. Vinny's got to try to make a play. He was just spammed through the smoke by Moose. Luckily, it's a Mac 10 he's up against, or maybe not luckily, as the headshot's found and a bit of extra cash for Moose, who retrieves an M4 directly afterwards. Did he pick up an AUG and then take an M4 instead?
I'm not sure. Maybe, though. I wouldn't be surprised with the lower fire rate of the AUG. It's not quite as useful on the T side, in all honesty. So it would be understandable.
He's going for
Moose,
the Mac
though,
10.
dropping over the M4 to Vanity, gets a Mac 10, yeah, so it doesn't really matter. He wants to try and build up money. He knows, of course, that they just took out a full gun round from Furia, so they will be up against that most upgraded pistols and maybe a bit of Kevlar coming into this round.
Moose certainly likes the fire rate in the Mac 10 anyways. 18 for 10 at the moment. He's been having a fantastic map. And I said, you know, towards the last couple rounds of the previous half, he really stepped it up. I think everybody on eUnited had a slow start. But I'd say in the last 10 rounds, he's been huge. And the fact that he's recovered it up to 18 to 10 is phenomenal. Now, Furia, again, struggling with the pistols coming out. Like you said, this is why Moose is taking the Mac 10. So it's a money maker. Flashbang is going to go over. Moose going to be peeking out through middle, see if he can catch a couple players off guard and find a little bit of Kishish. Ain't happening just yet. Furia have got a lot of upgraded pistols. I mean, 2 Deagles, 2 CZs, and a P250. A very symmetrical buy, even in terms of the smoke. I just wish eUnited had a piece of armor, then it would be screenshot worthy.
He ruined it. He's dead, though, either way, so it doesn't really matter. He was punished for it. Food going to go ahead and take himself a quick frag over towards the A-bomb site as well there as he goes ahead and drops Art, rather. Leaving it all onto Caserato, Yuri, and Vinny in a 3-on-5. That is not going to be an easy task. It does seem like Vinny, I believe, is the only player on that on the A-bomb site, rather, right now. He goes down, and with that now, we should see them just commit into it. Looks like they are bringing the bomb back around, though. The thing is, either way, the rotation having now come true. Yuri in mid. We also see Caserato making his way over towards A, so it may work. The only thing is the bomb is still in rotation. I don't think they know exactly where they want to bring it as of yet, and it's letting things get a little bit out of hand right now. An AK being retrieved for Yuri now. This could get awkward. The bomb should finally go down, though.
Oh, Yuri's peeking, though, with that Caserato to back him up, and the fact that his teammates only got a deal to work with, okay, he's able to retrieve the AK, and it also doesn't give away his position, as the smoke was already down, so they can't see the disappearing rifle. Caserato's magic trick. And with Cooper down low, look, you'd have a chance. I'm a little bit sad that it was just the individual peak going through, especially so late on. The fact that eUnited are building up this momentum, if you're going to go for it with the AK, make sure you got someone to back you up. Seems a little bit careless. And I'm not liking, if you see, slightly careless decisions coming through on the CT side, considering what happened towards the end of the previous map. I mean, eUnited building up the momentum, as we said. They won at the pistol. They won at the first buy round. They're starting to shut Furia out. If this round doesn't go Furia's way, I don't think you're going to see a lot from them on a... They're going to need a long pause, let's put it that way, to avoid the previous map being repeated.
Oh, yeah, it'll be getting out of hand for sure. Already eUnited on the T side of the map taking themselves the lead, but not in this round. That is a very quick hold indeed. eUnited wanted to try and take the pace up in towards middle. They end up getting completely decimated, as it is brought down into a 4-on-2. So by far the best position we've seen Furia be in quite a while. And looks like it could be extended a bit further as well. The nade to follow it up, not quite going to connect enough damage. Mitch was encouraging it in the background. He was like, yes, there it is. I don't know if he was actually sending that over the stream, but he was expecting that nade to get the frag. Unfortunately, as he always is, Mitch was wrong.
God damn it, Dean. Yeah, it looked like it. It hit off the corner of the crane. With Vanity still alive, he's able to pick up another kill. This is getting a little bit scary now. That nade not connecting could be dangerous. Vanity's already rotating over with the bomb. Oh, he's faking it as well. Oh, but they're going to spot out Cooper and take him down. That's most of the hope for this round gone. The one benefit, okay, so Vanity's in a 1v1 on each bomb site, but he suspects the rotation to have come through from eUnited. That maybe he would have thought Cooper was trying to flank them out as they rotated to B. It's decent, but Furia decide they're going to play it one man on each site, which is a risky play, but it works out for them. I'm sad we didn't say the nade. There's nothing better than a good Kobe, especially after the wallbang spam as well. It was played really well. But like I said, cut off just the little leg of the crane and bounced out to the side. You're on 10-10 at the moment. Fury at least winning out that round puts them back in contention. I'll be honest, I want to see a third map. I want to see what happens when we swing over to Inferno. It's the decider map, right? When you see a best of 3 series decider in Inferno, you want map 3 every single time. So can we just play a best of 1 on Inferno?
I just enjoy casting Inferno in general. It's a good map. You don't want to see too much of it, but when you get it in moderation, as I do tend to actually not cast it all that much, to be fair, it's certainly enjoyable. But let's see, because Art early on into this one has been tagged up slightly. I mean, it's not massively, so he is still on 71 health with the op. That may not be an issue. But of course, there's a round that Furia do very much rather need to pick up. Otherwise, it's going to be them again, just put down onto a potential eco with eUnited running away with the lead. But AbleJ, he doesn't want to let that happen. Alongside the flash from Yuri, he peeks forward and drops Marky to kick off this round. And it looks like eUnited may be feeling a little bit pressure. The fake towards A is going to be their goal. The bomb creeping up towards B, but AbleJ bypassed it for the moment and just took the life of Moose.
I mean, Vanity's just kind of stuck in limbo now. The decision-making process from this point is very grey. It's very difficult to decide what the optimum play is. He can go back and try to take AbleJ, but he's given the info to his teammates that, okay, the guy's still around the bottom. Do they check close right here? I think they have to. They know he's towards bottom stairs. There's the kill picked up. Now Vanity just goes back and takes the bomb plant. And despite a great flank, and he could have maybe come behind the mid players, because he's got the bomb, he can't make that kind of play. Kill found onto Art as they push through the smoke. Furia getting a little bit aggressive, and it's costing them. The man advantage is gone. And with the bomb down, eUnited look a lot better. The plant is for ramp as well, right? Food can see it from there. No, he has to go up to all the way up the stairs. So it's not amazing. Fury have got a chance at coming back into this if they can just find the players in the side. And with Cooper already down, Vanity's playing up close. He's the best chance to stop this defuse. There's no smokes in play, though. So they're going to have to raw take these duels.
Yeah, and Vanity already dropped low. Have the kit in play already sticking it, and eventually, as we do see Vanity peek out, Yuri, of course, was ready for it. So that will be Fury actually going ahead and reclaiming themselves the lead. Will they be able to keep this up, though, is the question. With that bomb plant going down, we do see United have enough money to buy in once again. So it's not going to be an easy round as of yet for Fury. They're going to have to go up against the full buy once again. I was going to say they could have dropped over an op. Food had 6,900, so he could have given one over to Cooper if they wanted, but they decided against it for now. Just happy enough with these rifles, which, I mean, it could indicate that they want to take this round a little bit quicker than the previous one.
eUnited on the deepest depths of their economy. The Fury aren't too fly. Like, if they lose this round with the loss bonus they're going to get, I think they're on 1,400. It's not great. Yuri, AbleJ, and Vinny would really struggle to get anything decent out. I mean, even Art wouldn't be looking too good. So it's a big round for United if they can make it happen. Nice nade goes through. Molotov as well. It's going to force Vinny out of position with the AWP. Goes down to a wallbang from Vanity. Another kill comes through from Marky. This is very quickly descending into chaos. Art hiding inside the smoke is their best chance, but he's taken down. Castorado goes through in the back of a flashbang, and he goes down right afterwards. AbleJ is left last alive. 1v5. And look, there may be spams for AbleJ in chat. There's a lot of support, but I don't know. I don't feel the 1v5.
eUnited finally remembered that A bomb site is so easy to take.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite ridiculous. I mean, they hit some nice shots there. It took them a while to actually realize that the op was kind of showing its barrel, and I think it was then a wall bang that came through from Vanity to go ahead and actually take that frag. So just a quick take on that A bomb site, and not a single frag from Furia. That's a convincing round, and as you said, not getting much loss bonus. This is going to be Furia coming into this next round with a bit of a limited investment. 3,700 for Yuri, 2,400 for Vinny. Abel can at least drop one over. Art and Caserato can buy for themselves, but it's not going to be perfect. And the issue is, if this one doesn't work out, then they're looking at an eco, which would allow for eUnited to extend their lead up to 13 to 11. So this round is just so important for Furia right now.
You see, the thing is, A is easy to take in general. When you see the likes of one player holding it, which is relatively common, especially if you've got an op in play, to leave him posted fairly passive, maybe of a second around elevators, who would be playing early on towards middle and then rotate over later on. That's what we've seen a lot of teams do with the kind of 10 to 15 seconds in, they rotate a player over towards A to play a two-man hold. then it can be very easy. You drop a couple of smokes, you've cut them completely off, and you should get a bomb plant in the close right corner. Although, we've seen both these teams actually show a lot of preference towards the blue box in the middle, which is a little bit more exposed, but it makes it much easier than in the post plants, because you can see it more easily, I suppose, from wood. But the thing is, Furia had so many players there. Like, within the first kind of 10 seconds, no, not even 5 seconds of the push coming through, there were 4 players in position. Art was on the bomb side even after the opening 2 came through. And Casarado was just a little bit later, rotating in from middle. And yet still, they weren't able to do anything, really. It's completely torn apart by eUnited, and really good nade placement with the nade that went down towards Vinny on the op, and the player that was beside him, the Molotov as well, pushed him out of position, then they could spam through and take him down, like you said, once they spotted that op barrel. It was an efficient push from eUnited, and now you start to get a little bit worried. But they are reverting back to their previous setups, playing it a little bit slower. And they're expecting some A aggression, that if they don't show any presence here, the A players will get a little bit angsty. Now the thing is though, Art's got the op, and he's pushed up very far. You've got a boost as well. I think what happens here most of the time is they just bail back the 2 players that are boosted up, and Art stays in position on sandbags, keeps the information in play, leave one kind of shallow holding middle. Oh, but the other alternative is that Art gets aggressive so those players can rotate, and as he does, like we said, we've still got one waiting down there. Cooper's got a hell of an angle behind that forklift. Art spots out that it's clear, and now they rotate back over. And the problem here is that because Art hasn't gotten too aggressive, you've no pick, and you're about to hit B, which is about to be stacked. So he's looking for that pick, and he's going to be caught out by it. 17 HP on the board. This is going to drag over the mid player we were talking about. Vinny's still here. But they still sense this with that much of a passive hold that it's going to be a B hit, and they're correctly reading this.
The smoke goes up the Molotov as well to stop anyone from peeking out on the rafters for the moment, or from the catwalk. Well, here we go now. The commitment is going to have to be coming through quite soon from eUnited, and it does still seem like B is going to be their main target. It's going to be a tough one for them to actually try and make their way through, but it seems like Furia are double guessing themselves here because they've gone ahead and begun to rotate Casarato. He comes back just in time, but it's only 2 to actually hold it down. Abel J, nice control on the UG to get the first, eventually takes down Markey, but the trades have come back. It's a 3-on-3 right now, extended in favor of eUnited. Art is low on HP, Vinny spotted coming through the window. This is falling apart, but there's only 8 seconds remaining. They need the frag quickly. Unfortunately for eUnited, Moose will find it.
I mean, the right play from Art to push forward. He suspects that the bomb is about to be planted, but I think neither of those players had any intention of planting the bomb. They were pushing forward knowing that Art had been around that area.
I think that's a lie, because I'm pretty sure it just been picked up, and the second he died, it was like tapped.
Was it? Oh, well, it was tapped as soon as he died,
mad.
yeah. But it looked like they were getting hyper aggressive. I think maybe showing a little bit of tail and then running could have been the way to play it, but at the end of the day, there's not much you can do really with it, hindsight even. Yuri takes down Cooper here, but it's a pistol rush. There's a second on the board. And control of the bomb with the weapon retrieved. And a second around that area as well. It's not easy to take the second weapon, though, because eUnited are all here watching it from afar. But the fact that they've now got an AWP in play, I mean, this makes it almost impossible to push back through this angle without burning up a lot of your utility in the process.
So this could get extremely dangerous. Vinny through the smoke actually catches it with the tracers being used to pinpoint the position. I honestly thought Markey may have been a second victim there, but he will stay alive for the moment. A minute and 5 seconds now for them to try and actually retrieve this bomb. An extra AK even being picked up now for Yuri to work with. It's just getting even more difficult here for eUnited. A round that should have been theirs quite easily, potentially falling apart. They're waiting though for Moose now to go ahead and join up with Markey. I believe he may actually be looking for a little bit of a flank. Indeed he is from behind. Is this being watched is the main question. Markey gets one for himself. Moose, he needs to pounce quite soon while Markey has the attention. I don't think that's what he was intending to do with that smoke.
It's alright. It's only a distraction as Moose comes up behind. Don't worry about the smoke. Flashbang to go through. Markey's going to push in the back of it. You'll see Moose peek 2. Picks up Vinny, and now it's all down to Yuri. He can do it, though. He's got armor to play with as well, so he can even take a shot to the body. But his HP is quite low, so you can kind of limit it there. Markey pushing on up, but Moose finds the kill in the end. Markey was super low after being lit up, so that really could have went his way. But the molly ultimately, like you said, that was the deciding factor. As soon as the molly went down, he was forced into the open, and it meant he couldn't commit towards the fight on Markey. Had to face Moose, who was ready for it. So 13-11, this is getting very scary for Furia. This full buy defines where the game goes. If they lose this, eUnited are on match point and series point before Furia get a full buy out. Oh, and they're going aggressive early on. Moose is watching this passive from afar. Caserato peeks this, or indeed Art. They could be in a lot of hot water.
Oh yeah, and Moose actually catches that aggression already. Art goes down. Cooper also with the off ready for a peek that was looking tempted to come through over towards that A-bomb site, and he will indeed. Vinny steps back with no idea that that op could already be up so close, or really that anyone could be. A 5-on-3 already in favor of eUnited. A gun round that is a necessity here for Furia to deny eUnited from being able to get up towards map and series point. And of course also qualifier point. There is at least a good bit of time remaining, but that also could be a bit of an issue for Furia. They do spot the bomb, I believe, over towards B. That getting taken down right there gives the info now for the rotation to come through, but Abel's already dropped onto low HP, and Food has creeped in through mid. So a potential flank to just shut this down before it can even become a potential, I guess, after plant.
Oh no, Abel J shoots off a little bit too early. And with that, he's re-peeked by Moose and taken down. Caserato has to find another 3 kills in the back of the one he just landed. An AWP in hand, spots them crossing, but not able to hit the shot. Cooper closes in the distance. They've got a peek above the bomb site itself. Double peeking him, he still finds one. Oh, I thought he was going to tap through the smoke. Decides against it and closes in the distance instead. Sneaky beaky like. They don't know that he's here. It could work his way, but the smoke actually dissipates, so never mind. It was caught by Moose around the very bottom corner of it. As he was shifting his way, 14 to 11. And the United find themselves on the verge of victory. Furia at this point have to go down to just pistols, and we've seen what happened to them on the previous map. Now, it was much more one-sided. I think they're still going to be counting themselves in. They have nothing to fall back on. No safety net here of, oh, our map picks up next, don't worry about it. The other team don't play it. I mean, this is a United's second time playing the map. But again, it is something that is generally pretty comfortable for a lot of teams. Or at least rather, even if they only have one play or no plays in officials, everybody's practiced it at this point. There's not a single team out there that hasn't at least tried Vertigo, but I don't think there's a single team out there that likes it either. Most tend to hate it. Although Furia pick it a lot. Maybe that's just because everybody else hates it.
Maybe. It's a mind game.
Exactly.
But, I mean, I'm sure some teams do enjoy playing it. If not all the team, then at least some of the players on it.
Yeah.
They seem to do well, so they can play it anyway. But yeah, let's see Furia right now. Only pistols and a bit of Kevlar. They do actually manage to catch Marky off guard. Getting very aggressive over on B on his own right there. And we could see a bit of a commitment in towards a stack on this A-bomb site also. So this could get quite dangerous. Vinny, though, able to find one on the CZ before he eventually goes down. There's still a few smokes in play for that T side as well. No longer as it is actually tossed out there to try and block off any players from peeking in from the back of the site, or rather the side of the site, would be one way to put it. And there we go, Vanity with a quick headshot being found towards Art. Expects that flank through the smoke also, and Caserato being spotted now as the last man standing. A 2-on-1, Moose and Cooper just need to play this together and at least ensure the trade to take map and qualifier point.
Caserato's conscious of Cooper, takes him down on low HP on Moose. He falls too. Really well played by Caserato. He was holding an angle that his teammate was on as well over towards blue, just hiding while his teammate took the fight. As soon as he fell, Caserato knew that he had the opportunity to strike, as nobody was expecting a double stack towards those blue containers. Previously, that was something that you would kind of expect on the previous iteration of Vertigo, but now that it's possible to self-boost up as the second box has been added, so you can jump up on top of them, it's no longer really viable to have 2 players there, I suppose, or it's just a waste of manpower. But that's the one advantage. You can catch them completely off guard. And Caserato back on top of the team with that 4K, 21 kills on the board. He's been having a slower game than he usually does. We're talking to slower games. I mean, eUnited are definitely seeing Marky have a little bit of a step down in performance from the previous map, where he finished with 28 kills, a score that Moose is currently sitting on. Although he's a couple more deaths and didn't start it out 22 for 1 or anything like that.
Yeah. One thing is, though, that Cooper and Moose, they're definitely going to play that a little bit better. The initial push, I believe, by Cooper came in a bit preemptively before Moose was in position to be able to follow it up, and by the time then he actually did manage to get the peek in to try and trade, Caserato had time to reset his spray, so bit of a misplay, but it may not matter, because again, United do actually go ahead and kick off this round with a man advantage, a 5-on-4 going in their favor to go ahead and start off, once again, a very, very important round. If Furia were to lose this one, they could be facing a very troublesome position with, again, a weak buy to try and keep themselves alive. Only one player on B right now, which does look to be where eUnited want to take it. Yuri going to have to step it up massively as he is alone. Oh not able to actually get anything at all. Immediately goes down to Vanity. The smoke's in play as well to block anyone else off from being able to stop them from taking this bomb site. Caserato pushes through wildly. This time only gets one, but Vinny, he gets a double kill. Will Food be able to pull anything back for the moment? He is smoked off. At 2-on-2, he's waiting for Moose to come in from behind as well. He actually checks for Vinny pushing around on the rafters, but not able to get it done. It's left onto Moose in a 1-on-1 now after he takes down Art, but unfortunately dropped low in the meantime. It's Vinny with only a single bullet that he needs to connect, which he will do successfully. The op being upgraded too, that's 13 for Furia. And again, around for eUnited, that should have went in their favor. That unravels.
Especially with Art there towards the end. He was really unfortunate with the AWP to hit the legs of his opponent. And yet, even still, United aren't able to pull it back. It's 14-13. Another full buy comes through from Furia. It is seeing weaknesses, an MP9 and a FAMAS coming through on the back of losing so many players in the rounds that they're winning. United aren't looking too much better, though. Well, never mind too much better. They're not looking better. They've got pistols to play with and only 2 pieces of armor. Lots of smokes, though. 3 smokes in play. Something we saw from Furia when you have this lower buy. Move towards the A site. On most maps, it's B. But right here, it's A. Drop your smokes all over the place and get your teeth into the round. Vinny is pushing around that smoke, playing super close range, which is dangerous up against this kind of a buy. He just needs to tuck... Well, never mind. He can't tuck in as he's taken down. His head ripped off by Caserato, doing all the damage. Puts Moose down in a 1v2. CZ in hand. Do not play this 1-by-1, or you're going to be in a lot of trouble. Moose bails down. He's out of ammo on the CZ, I think.
Must have been. He was trying to retrieve himself a weapon. They're jumping up for the deagle, I believe. Unfortunately, not able to get it. So 14-14 is going to be the scoreline. eUnited coming onto a bye again. But they need to make this one work. If eUnited end up losing this one here after having such a massive lead and being so close to qualifying, if it goes onto map 3 and we see Furia coming through the victory on Inferno, that could be heartbreaking, but it's not over yet. eUnited still have the chance to end this one 2-0. If they can pick up this gun round right now, you can see Furia, their economy is in a very poor position, and of course that loss bonus no longer built up. I think they'd be getting 1900 or 2400, so they would be on a very weak buy into potentially the final round. The flip also, the reverse rather also would stand, where if eUnited lose this one, they wouldn't be on a great buy in this next round either.
The positions from Furia, I love this from Yuri, but evidently, so do eUnited. Yuri's body falls to the ground. And now you look at a 5 versus 3. eUnited in here with a massive advantage, already completely smoked off the bomb site. They perfectly read how Vinny and Yuri were going to be playing, and now Furia have to go for a save. With the fact that they've got so little money, so little loss bonus for the next round, they need to carry these weapons forward. And it's unfortunate because, just as I'm about to compliment Yuri's position, obviously United are completely aware of it. Hiding up behind that beam was dangerous when it first was discovered. But it's one of those positions that it can either completely define a round by you finding like 3 or 4 kills if they leave you unchecked. Or with the fact that it's now quite prominent. Oh, hold on, this hunt is so important. Oh no, Food! No, what are you doing? That was not how to strafe. How not to strafe 101. At least they dropped the op in the end.
Fortunately, they can still reinvest onto a couple of the players who died. Only Moose needed a drop. Otherwise, that would have been awkward. Marky should be dropping over to Vanity anyway so that he can get extra utility. But yeah, no, Phil, that was a little bit awkward. Didn't manage to make that jump. I mean, they won the round. That's all that matters in the end. It is coming on to the final round now. Potentially. Of course, there is still the opportunity for Furia rather to send it into overtime. But look at their money. I think I was correct when I said they were getting the $1,900 initially, and it's just going to give them pistols pretty much. Some utility at least, of course, but in terms of the actual weaponry, CZs and then a couple of MP9s do end up coming out.
Sorry, I'm still just caught on the Food missing the strafe, because it's not the way you usually miss it. Sometimes you hit off the wall, but he's kind of like jumped straight off.
Yeah, it was
hold
pretty
W
weird.
and jump.
The second he started to jump, I was like, I don't think he's gonna make this.
Yeah, I was like, that's a weird strafe. But okay, looking past it, 15-14, they're still able to get a full buy with full utility, so it really doesn't hurt them. It's the final round of the half. It doesn't matter at all. It's just the only thing that they lost there, the only thing that Food lost was his pride. And with Furia now sitting with 2 MP9s and the CZs, I'm a little bit worried for them. I'm going to go out on a limb here and just say they're going to play I mean, it's not really too much of a gamble when you look at Furia, but that they're going to play a little bit aggressive, trying to make advantage of these pistols by catching them off guard. Sometimes you do that by just hiding down on a site, camping angles and waiting for them, but sometimes you do it just by straight pushing, and that's what they try. Art comes through with 2, picks up an AK, swings in for more, but he's not going to land it. This could get a little bit dangerous now into a 2 versus 2. Yuri at least manages to take down Cooper and retrieve an AK-47 as well in the process. They lost a lot of players pushing A there, but it was worth it for the flank and elevators from Art. What a huge play to open up the round.
Yeah, they just need to ensure that they actually work together on this now and don't give the opportunity for those frags to be taken for free. Over on the Furia side, Yuri gets a Molotov tossed over towards the forklift, so he finds things a little bit more complicated, but he is still alive for the moment. Caserato just kind of chilling up on that B bomb site. That's the issue, though, for Furia right now. As long as eUnited, as I said, stick together and try and at least get those trades, then they should be able to outmatch and outnumber whichever bomb site they go towards. Vanity actually creeped up on mid as well. Could really take it in towards either site and be one part of a pincer movement, I suppose. What are they going to be aiming for? Taking their time. Eventually, though, we will hear Caserato being aware, of course, as the footsteps come through. CZ in hand, looking to try and play from up close. Needs to be cautious, being aware of both sides. He's making a lot of noise, though. And Marky eventually realizes that and goes ahead and drops him. It's all onto Yuri now. 1 versus 2 to try and keep Furia in this qualifier, as eUnited are only a single frag away from taking themselves a spot at ESL New York 2019, rather. Sorry, it's getting late. My words blending together.
This is sad that he has to go down to a Molotov instead of a nade. Had he still have had that nade in play, Vanity would be dead 100%. Nade would have been dropped towards the back and he would have died before he even heard it. Marky in the position, and now look at that Vanity head peeking, so his low HP is pretty much counteracted. Yuri tries to isolate Marky up close, spots his ass out, swings around and finds the kill. Now if he taps the defuse, a flashbang, he's just going to go straight in for the peek. He knows he's going to be around this area, but Vanity still comes out on top, and the